The police, the judges, and the courts are all part of the world's most powerful criminal enterprise.
So to clarify, you're calling for the overthrow of the Spanish government?
No. I'm calling for the overthrow of all governments, politicians, religious fanatics, brainwashing by corporations, the corruption of the banking system gone. Gone. Washington, Berlin, Beijing will be graveyards. And only then people will understand there is a better way to run this world.
And that's what you really want here, worldwide revolution.
Governments must fall.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's December 14th, 2018. Coward cop who failed to confront Parkland shooter says he had no legal duty to act. Law says he's right. This is from Matt Argust. So there's the cowardly cop. And, you know, I almost hate to do this video because the last video I did about the Parkland shooting got my channel banned. I have 2 strikes now. And if I happen to get banned for this video, my backup channel is still good. I still have channel on BitChute, and I'm probably going to make some other channels on different platforms. I have a t-shirt design. Tell me if you're interested. It's a all-seeing eye that's been turned over and with a spear through it. Kill the state, live free. Let me know what you think about the idea. Alright. And give me a thumbs up and a share, as it will help me gain more subscribers. A Florida court was shocked when disgraced ex-deputy Scott Peterson, a.k.a. the Coward of Broward, claimed in court that he had no legal duty to confront the Parkland shooter and protect the children inside the school. Although the judge rejected the deputy's claim that he had no duty to confront Nikolas Cruz that day, a pile of court cases says otherwise. Broward County or Broward Circuit Judge Patty Englander Henning found after a hearing Wednesday that ex-deputy Scott Peterson did have a duty to protect the students inside Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School on that fateful day. As the Free Thought Project reported, video showed Deputy Peterson cowering in fear outside the building as gunfire erupted inside. Now, there are so many discrepancies in the witness testimony and the official story that I have a hard time believing Nikolas Cruz even did the shooting. The reason this is because of the description the teacher gave of the shooter, and then the classmate who said she was in line with Nikolas Cruz and made no mention of him having a rifle, body armor, or anything else related to that shooting. So I have a hard time believing Cruz is the shooter. I think that probably it was an officer. But he says had Cruz been confronted, an untold number of lives may have been saved. The court case against Peterson is a negligence suit filed by Andrew Pollock, whose daughter, Meadow, was tragically killed in the shooting. Pollock said that it made no sense for the deputy to argue that he had no legal duty to go inside. In quotes, then what is he doing there? Pollock said after the ruling. He had a duty. I'm not going to let this go. My daughter, her death is not going to be in vain. And Peterson's attorney, Michael Piper, acknowledged that this argument for defense may seem offensive and outrageous, but as a matter of law, the deputy had no legal duty to confront the shooter. You might recall a man in New York City who was attacked by a serial killer. He had to fend off the serial killer, getting his head, multiple parts of his body stabbed in the process, while New York City police looked on from the other side of the door. In quotes, "There's no legal duty that can be found," Piper said. At its very worst, Scott Peterson is accused of being a coward. That does not equate to bad faith. Well, I disagree with that. I disagree with that. It does equate to bad faith. If we go back through decades of court cases, we will find that Piper is indeed correct. Police in America are not required to protect and serve. To be entirely fair, there were probably plenty of officers who would have rushed into the building that day, but case law dating back to the 1930s says they don't have to do so. The leading case on the topic is Warren v. District of Columbia, and I've talked about this court case before, when the court stated that the fundamental principle of American law is that a government and its agents are under no general duty to provide public services. I'm going to say this again. The government and its agents are under no general duty to provide public services, such as police protection, to any individual citizen. And that doesn't stop with just police protection. If government services are not a fundamental principle of American law, then why the fuck does the government exist? I'll tell you why. It exists to rob from you, to cage you, to kill you. That's what the function of government is. Period. In that case, this Warren v. District of Columbia proves it. I'm going to, in that case, police were directly alerted by Carolyn Warren, Miranda Douglas, and Joan Talafero that they were being held hostage by Marvin Kent and James Morris. Warren called police twice, but police never intervened, and Warren, Douglas, and the other were held captive, raped, robbed, beaten, forced to commit sexual acts upon each other, and made to submit to the sexual demands of Kent and Morris for over 14 hours. The appellants argued that because police were alerted twice, that police had a specific duty to protect them from the harm to which they were alerted. However, the court ruled in favor of the police. What a fucking surprise. In quotes, the well-established rule that official police personnel and the government employing them are not generally liable to victims of criminal acts for failure to provide adequate police protection. There's another from the Supreme Court dating back to the 1930s, which established the guidelines for federal government protection of citizens. In short, there is none. So, you having this insane notion that the government is there to serve you, that it's there to protect you, court precedent says otherwise. These are coming right from court decisions from judges' mouths. And he said, this particular one, Erie Railroad Company versus Tompkins. The court stated, there is no federal general common law. Congress has no power to declare, substantive rules of common law applicable in a state, whether they be local in their nature or general, be they commercial law or a part of the law of torts. And no clause in the Constitution supports or purports to confer such a power upon the federal courts. In fact, the only case establishing that police have a duty to protect individuals states that those individuals must be under direct responsibility of the police at that time. That's the only way, is if you're in their custody. Otherwise, they have no obligation to protect you. And the government has no obligation to provide any services whatsoever. DeShaney versus Winnebago County Department of Social Services. The court in Delaney held that no duty arose as a result of a special relationship, concluding that constitutional duties of care and protection only exist as to certain individuals, such as incarcerated prisoners, like I just said, involuntarily committed mental patients, and others restrained against their will and therefore unable to protect themselves. And there's many more. And all you guys out there, all you law and order people, the law has nothing to do with helping you, and has everything to do with enforcing the will of a politician who says he is better equipped to rule your life than you are. So, I would really like for people to get this delusion out of their minds, out of their heads, and to face reality. The reality is, you have no freedom. These people, this coward on your screen, can kill you anytime they want, and there will be no repercussions if they do so. They have no duty to protect you. They have no duty to serve you. So why do you think you have a duty and obligation to obey and serve them? Till next time, kill the state. Live free.